That are coming back with another video. So it looked like Tom Brady comments about Arch Manning is resurfacing and is drawing some headlines. And also, there is a huge debate over Dante Moore and Arch Manning going into the 2026 collegiate football year. Guys, for this one here, we got to go down to Austin, Texas. Let's get it. Let's go. Now, jumping right into this story, man, we have to talk about the GOAT himself, Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady is a highly respected quarterback. Some view Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback ever. I think he is. If you're talking winning and purely just dominating on the football field in catastrophic situations, playing from behind, is hard. Very, very hard not to say Tom Brady isn't a GOAT, bro. Like literally. And I find this to be quite interesting that this clip is coming back up now because the only time Tom Brady really got smacked in the Super Bowl was against Eli Manning. So we definitely got to listen to what Tom Brady had to say about Archie boy. Let's roll it.
You watch football today. I did too. We saw Arch Manning have a tough day, right? Playing against a very good defense, Matt Patricia's defense. And so he got to see some new looks, I'm sure. Did you see enough?
Now, this footage right here is from Arch's first game. Now, we all remember that first game going up against Ohio State. People was all like, man, it's over for Arch. He's done. Stick a fork in him. He trash. Then ultimately, the second half of the season, he ended up getting his act together. But the moral of the story is Arch Manning was playing behind Quentin Ewers for quite some time, and we don't know if he got a lot of first-team reps. And we don't know, you know what I'm saying, if he was comfortable. You know, there was a lot of eyes on him when he playing Ohio State. And I feel as if that pressure might have came down on him. But as the season had progressed, we start seeing Arch really get into the flow, working his feet better, getting the ball downfield. And it was just a beautiful thing to see. I can't even lie, man, but let's listen to Tom Brady.
I mean, he was the next Tom Brady, the way he was getting built up here before the season started. But he also missed some really easy throws. I mean, ones that made a difference in the game. What did you think?
Yeah, definitely saw certainly the first play of the game. I didn't, he's rolling out to the right and he has this receiver, it was the tight end wide open and kind of skips it to him. And, a lot of these guys they're so young and they don't, with social media and Twitter and I mean, you can, make someone look so great and you can tear them down so quick. And before it used to be, have to wait till the paper comes out the next day to make a real evaluation. But in the digital era, it happens in 5 seconds. So, I think there's a blessing and a curse in some of it. The curse is a lot of people pile on. The blessing is, I don't believe a quarterback, there needs to be resilience built up in the quarterback as well. So even though he didn't have his best game today and they lost, if he uses this to his advantage, Arch, he's going to be tougher for it. And he's going to have a better next game because of it. And I always felt like you've got to deal with a lot of adversity from a quarterback standpoint to toughen you up to be the true leader for the organization. And unfortunately, these kids now at 19 years old or 20, they're forced to be the leaders of a college organization. And it was probably more the head coach. But because now there's so many people moving every year in college, it's really thrust upon that quarterback position to do that. And, they're young in their development. So, there's a long season to play out. Arch has years beyond this to still play in college if he wants. But it's going to be up to him to see how deep he, really wants to, dig within himself and how deep he wants to dig in order to be successful. But there's nothing to show me that he won't be that. He's been that way, in high school and even last year. And he's got a lot of good people around him that know exactly what to do.
That was Tom Brady basically said, bro. He got Eli Manning there, bro. And Eli Manning definitely know what the hell he doing, man. But that's good for Tom Brady, man, early on in the season. I would like to see Tom Brady speak on Arch Manning now since the season had concluded to see what was his outlook on him. But that was just a great piece of work there from Tom Brady. Moving on to another story. This came out from Sports Illustrated today, and this stuck out to me. It say Dante Moore, Arch Manning rankings spark college debate. Oregon quarterback Dante Moore and Texas quarterback Arch Manning earned a surprising ranking in top college football players. Yes, it goes on to say Oregon quarterback Dante Moore and Texas quarterback Arch Manning are two of college football biggest stars. Each have an opportunity in 2026 to lead their prospective star-studded teams into the college football playoff while gaining momentum in the Heisman Trophy race and potential top NFL draft picks. These two young men are arguably probably going to be the biggest two names in college football this year. When you talk about the quarterbacks that's coming out, no names stick out more than Dante Moore and Arch Manning, specifically Arch Manning because of the name that's on the back of his jersey. He's probably going to get a lot of pub. I can see Arch Manning getting a lot of spin on ESPN. College football game day is all going to be down there in Austin. It's just gonna be a beautiful thing, but don't get it twisted. Dante Moore is gonna have Eugene popping too. Now, the article goes on to say that is what makes a new rankings of the top returning college football players so interesting. Moore and Manning find themselves buried beneath skilled players and defenders. Then it goes on to say it is not a secret that football is driven by quarterbacks, the position, which naturally carries more important than any other position on the football field. And that's why everybody make content about quarterbacks. That's why ESPN talk about quarterbacks. It is the most important position in all of football, man. Now, however, a recent list by On3 of top returning players does not reflect that. It also brings up a couple burning questions. Jeremiah Smith of Ohio State, cornerback Leonard Moore, Malik Toney of Miami, wide receiver Colin Simmons, Dylan Stewart, Carter Smith, Arch Manning, Dante Moore, Ahmad Hardy of Missouri, my home state, Cam Coleman down there in Texas. So a lot of people was, man, Texas is loaded, bro. I didn't even know they had all this going on, but they definitely loaded. Ohio State wide receiver Jeremiah Smith, number one, makes sense. But after that, this list becomes very debatable, especially that the two quarterbacks with the most national spotlight aren't higher. Moore and Manning each have number one overall pick in the NFL upside. So their replacement in the back half at number 7 and number 8 stands out as low. Now, this is just a theory. Theory of mine is, could the Cleveland Browns make a pursuit at Arch Manning if he dropped that low? Will we start seeing teams, not just the Browns, but other teams trade off pieces during the draft after those first 5 selections go if Arch ain't number one? See, that's the question. But I don't know. We just have to wait and see. But get down in the comment section. Let me know y'all thoughts about this, man. Keep them Bills on. And until next time, dog, shake the haters off. I'm out of here, baby. Peace out.